Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're testing. We have to test because we've been having a lot of audio technical difficulties. But I think we got it. All right. Test complete. Well, y'all, the cicadas are singing their last songs of summer. Our evenings are going to start getting a little cooler, and you can almost smell the pumpkins creeping around the corner. We're standing right on that front porch between summer's wild chaos and autumn's calm and coziness. And let me tell you, Virgo season is here to help us sweep the floors, gather ourselves, and get ready for the season ahead. That being said, welcome back, moon listeners, moon phase vibers and watchers. Jumping on here after Mercury is out of the microwave. The retrograde for Mercury has, come to a close, tapered off the shadow time for it. It's just a little shadow period afterwards, and trying to get through all the technical difficulties we've been having with some of our audio. I guess it's time for an upgrade. Perfect time to prep for that. So let's see. We are going to talk about Virgo and its Virgo-ness, because we are coming up. We're in the liminal space right now that we can consider the shift that will be from our late summer, end of summer, into the autumnal season, into the darker half of the year. But before that big shift happens, we have another shift that's going to take place, and we're about to enter our new solar season this week. And right behind the sun shifting into Virgo, that will happen on Friday the 22nd, August. The sun's going to move into Virgo around 4:30-ish in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. The new moon in Virgo is right behind it on Saturday the 23rd. That new moon will be around 2:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'm also going to prepare us for that shift as we talk about the moon's journey to Virgo. That's this week through basically August 20th into the 23rd. We only got a couple more days to cover through the week. And then we're going to shift into our new solar season. Nice, grounded earth practicality energy to work with all solar season long. Good preparation vibes. We're going to really be getting ready to shift into losing the daylight that we're going to start losing as we creep up to our autumn equinox. That will be the big day of balance between day and night, coming up around the 23rd of September. And we're just really here to talk about how to get ready for all of this shifting. This is a great liminal space time. I think spiritual energy is kind of on the rise. I love thinking about liminal spaces as we think about it around Samhain, around the winter solstice, when the veil really starts thinning. I really feel like that same energy accumulates when we're shifting from one season to the next. So I've put a bunch of stuff together, how we can really use this preparational energy that Virgo brings us as we can, so we can work with it to the best of our abilities, and how we can really help it align with us so we can stay ready and move into this awesome shift that we're all super ready for, which is autumn. Well, we're all ready for that break in the heat and the humidity. It's been a brutal summer, and it's a big shift to taper off from like the wildness and of summer to more of an introverted coming in, turning inward spiritually, physically, as we all move indoors. It gets darker sooner. It gets cooler you know, as the sun goes down in the evening this time of year, and we really start planning our holidays coming up. It's going to be one celebration after the next, and that also takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of energy. So we have to make sure we're ready for it, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things. So I'm here to help us as best as I can to my ability. And I try to sit and practice what I preach. And it does help me to help everyone else with a little bit of guidance along the way. So here we go. Moon's journey to Virgo for this weekend. So the 20th, the moon's in Cancer. We're in Cancer today, kind of around, we're gliding through our fourth quarter of the moon as it's moving into the new moon before we jump into our new lunar cycle for Virgo. So when the moon is swinging through Cancer, think like Sunday supper at your grandparents. It's comfort food. It's for the soul. This energy has us really tending to our emotional needs and leaning in on home, family, maybe feeling a little vulnerable, tender. Cancer really reminds us to rest up and to refill our cups before we start back to the hustle. And I mean, it's been hustling all summer. I'm a summer girl. I love spring. I love summer. I love really leaning into our seasons. And I just did not get outside and do as much as I wanted to this summer that we typically get to do. It's just been busy, 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 busy. We bought a home this year, so we've really just tried to stay on top of things and prevent ourselves from having any unnecessary stress financially. So we've just been doing what we got to do. And we've really felt the hustle and the bustle of the wildness of summer this summer. Excuse me. Coffee, help me. So, as the moon moves into Leo, which will be tomorrow on the 21st. I'm sorry, Thursday. I'm a day behind. I'm recording on Tuesday the 19th. We are in Cancer. We're in Cancer tomorrow. It'll move into Leo tomorrow on the 20th around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when she is in Leo, honey, that's when the spotlight's on. We know that with Leo. Leo is burning heart. It is bright. It is wild. It is all about feel good about yourself. And the moon says celebrate yourself. Let your heart shine. Don't be afraid to take up space in this energy. This is taking up space energy. It's playful and it's bold. It's always a little dramatic. It's getting your Sunday best on just because it feels good, because you want to look good, because you want to look your best. When we look good, we feel good, right? So that energy is needed. So Cancer is reminding us to refill our cups. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to feel a little vulnerability. We'll move into Leo and we'll celebrate ourselves and we'll shine bright, because Virgo, our new moon in Virgo, is going to ask us to start getting ready. It's going to start taking preparational steps for our up and coming shifts. So finally, as the moon will land this weekend in Virgo, this is a clean slate moment. After our heart healing in our Cancer and the celebration of self, our self celebration in Leo, Virgo really comes in to like tidy things up. It says, all right, y'all, let's pull it together. This is the reset. I am the planner. We're going to make our pros and our cons list before we move forward on just about anything. We're going to start a fresh page in our journal, in our notebooks, before we press on. Virgo season, collectively, Virgo energy is like that aunt, a sweet, sweet aunt who you love to pieces, right? But she's not going to hesitate to tell you your shirt's on backwards, to pull your pants up. Your socks don't match. Maybe your hair's a little messed in the back. You forgot to look on the back. You did the sides and the front real nice, but you turn around, we got to fix it. She's not going to let you hit the door and move out into the world like that. We're going to hit pause and we're going to fix it. It's the season of getting organized. It's taking stock of what is working. And what's not, you're going to take into account what is not working. And we're going to find balance before the big wheel really keeps us going into the autumnal months. Virgo does not play when it comes to details. So if you've been letting things slide a little all summer long, now it's the time to tighten up the loose ends and polish all the things. Because like I said, us getting caught up in the hustle and the bustle of the summer, I felt like summer was short. It was chaotic. It was just busy. I was tired all summer long. I didn't like it. We had our times and our moments of pause and celebration when we were outside and we were at the beach and we were with family and we did all the things, but I wanted to do more. But I knew I had to stay on track as well. So now it's time to like I said, tie up the loose ends. With the busyness that came with summer, I let things fall to the wayside that I don't typically. I just, like little things around the house. Not cleaning my car out as often as I like to. We had to get on the road a couple of times this summer. We have some maintenance that we have to catch up on with like the vehicles and stuff like that. We've got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm ready to get it all handled, taken care of, and revamped moving into this new season. So you can pour some tea from an empty pitcher. But Virgo season's really going to say you got to fill it up yourself first. It's also time to like weed your gardens before the frost hits, when we start slipping into our later month next month, and after we're celebrating the autumn equinox and things really start getting quieter, slowing down, getting a little darker, a little sooner, a little cooler in the evenings. I know we're all gonna like probably have a dinner party at the first announcement of a cold front. I swear. Virgo season's gonna be like balance. And balance is like good cornbread. Too dry and it crumbles. Too soggy, it don't hold up. Virgo wants it just right. And these are going to be a lot of shifting energies. So the preparedness that Virgo wants you to have really helps with these seasonal energy shifts. So this season is the season of getting your house in order. That's literal and spiritual. Think like cleaning out your junk drawer, sage your spaces, clear it out, ring the bells, use the sage. I love sound cleansing. I love finding bells at thrift stores, and I have quite a few, and I love sound cleansing. My little girl even likes to take part in that and ring the bells around the house when I know we need a good reset. Burn the sage, burn your incense, maybe put up wards. I was just talking to Natalie the other day about, I think with this up and coming new moon, I really need to set some wards and really reset the spiritual boundaries for our physical home, for our spiritual home, for my family. And just, we've had a lot of wildness this summer knocking at our door, trying to infiltrate a level of peace that we have worked very hard for. And I think it's really time to redraw those cosmic lines in the sand. So it's also a good time to take into consideration maybe redrawing your spiritual and emotional boundaries as well. That's a good way to prepare for an up and coming shift in the season. Clear out your old grudges. Whatever needs closing up, close it before the wheel turns. We don't want to take any of that into the next season with us, especially such a open spiritual energy that really comes along with the autumnal months as we approach Samhain and the veil starts thinning. We really become super susceptible to all of these changing energies, and the messages and the communications that can really come through for us when we're ready to receive them, and we're ready and have all of that spiritual and emotional baggage cleared, all the bullshit out the way, so we can be ready to receive these things. So we're really leaning into autumn, y'all. And that means spooky season, it's coming, it's peeking around the corner, but Virgo really wants us to make sure we're not getting sloppy. We're not running into it. We don't want burnout. We don't want the burnout before Halloween, before Samhain even gets here. And I'm talking to you, corporations, because I have seen Halloween decor on the shelves since July. I'm not here for that. I will not let myself taste anything pumpkin spiced until at least September. There has to be a burr month in place to partake. That's me. That's how I protect myself, and I like the anticipation of the up and coming change that fall brings us into the later half of the year and into our darker months in our autumnal season, into our winter months. I love the holiday season. I love getting behind it. I felt very disconnected last year. We had a lot going on. We were really working on buying our home, which we got handled and taken care of at the very beginning of this year, but it really had a toll on our holiday season, and you could feel it. So we're here, we're settled. I really feel like I'm going to be much more aligned and in the spirit with everything to come. So I'm excited. I mean, and summer has been hot and it's been wild. Like I said, it's been busy. But here we are at the end of August, and we're craving that cozy balance. We're craving the slower evenings, the cooler evenings, pumpkins on the porch, fall garland, leaves on the ground. We're ready. So also a good way to like really celebrate and move into this, you can do stuff like journaling. We know Virgos are very much into their list making. So where do you need more balance in your life? That would be a great journal prompt and a way to open up. Do you have the right amount of balance? Where do you need to work on it more? What could be more or less of something that would give you more balance? What habits or routines may you want to start moving into a new solar season? Moving into the later half of the year, what do you want to see yourself accomplish for the rest of the year? What habits do you not want? What do you want to let go of? And letting go of even like old baggage. Be ready to release before stepping in to the next season. This is a perfect liminal space and a liminal time for that reset. And also a new moon in Virgo. We have a new lunar cycle. This is just the most perfect alignment. Virgo is setting us up for success. Virgo season is the pause literally before the party. It's the tidy up before the guests arrive, the deep breath before the harvest. So it has us exactly where we need to be. So to keep us even more aligned with where we need to be moving into our new solar season, I pulled out the almanac. We were talking about buying and purchasing and planting a lemon tree, which here in the panhandle in the south of Florida, we're talking about a lemon tree, and it's a great time between July and October to plant citrus. So this prompted me to bust out the old Farmer's Almanac to see exactly what I could align with all of this clean slate energy that's coming up. So the almanac The gardening calendar isn't just for plants. It's folk and witchy traditions that are long trusted lunar timing, and it's for magical workings as well. So recommendations for stuff like the 20th through the 24th. When we go from Cancer into Leo, this is a good time for pulling weeds, clearing out pests, and cutting timber, like decluttering your yard waste, spiritual and yard. This is for your waning moon. So again, discard what is not needed, what is not serving you, what's not doing you no favors, what don't look pretty out there. Get rid of it. And this is in preparation for our celebration of our second harvest. We had the very early first harvest celebration of Lunasa, and then we're going to go into celebrating Mabon as we hit the autumn equinox. Okay, then we have from August 25th and the 26th, the moon is waxing again. So after our new moon cycle, this is a good time to start sowing grains, planting flowers, and above ground crops or potted plants. So this is purely generative energy, stuff that you want to grow for you. This is a good time to even do intentional work, set your goals in place. Your waning moon from the 20th through the 24th. So that's your releasing time. Get rid of what's not working and no longer serves. And that's whether it's literal clutter, emotional baggage, or outdated habits. Then it's going to have us switch into sowing new intentions, planting mental and physical seeds for autumn and during the waxing period again. So waning, we're releasing. Waxing, we're bringing in. All right. So in September, as we were moving a little further down, on September 7th, I wanted to talk about our full moon. It's going to rise as the corn moon, or sometimes called our harvest moon. And that's a symbol of abundance, accumulation, and the land's bounty. So this is our first big full moon of the harvest season. Like, we're in the harvest season, and we have a big total lunar eclipse to kick it off with, which also means this is going to be a blood moon as well. So this is going to be absolutely bursting at the seams with magical, extra potent energy. This kind of energy is perfect for your high magic rituals around release and transformation, prophetic dreaming, and deep intention and meditative work. So from our new moon all the way until our full moon, new moon August 23rd, full moon September 7th. I'll take us through a little bit of a recap how you can align these energies. Before we land on that new moon, the Virgo new moon, that's the clean slate. Let's pause and leaning to what the almanac will tell us from then till our full moon. From August 20th to the 24th, the moon will be waning. Perfect time to tidy up your spiritual house, your physical house. Get it all cleaned and cut what's rotten, burn off what stings, and dump that old baggage. Think of it as that old busted crock pot you haven't wanted to throw away. Maybe it's the one all the way in the back of the cupboard you keep telling yourself you're going to get rid of. It's time to let that go. August 25th to the 26th, the moon waxes again. And that's the best time for planting. Planting your hopes, sprout intentions, plant physical seeds, tend to your inner gardens, and get ready for the September 7th full moon, corn moon, harvest moon, blood moon, total eclipse. That's the doorway. That's the night which transformations can take powerful close-up changes. We can use these we can use this time to open up new chapters and call in big magic. So we also have some other planetary shifts that are going to be playing into these big energies. But we'll back it up a little from September. We'll jump back over here to August 19th. I'm sorry. And so today, because that's today, August 19th, before we dive into Virgo's sweet embrace, we can pause and feel the weight of Saturn as it's going to today shift into Pisces. Saturn's our task maker. It moves into dreamy waters. That is Piscean dreamy waters. And that's urging us to ground our dreams. Saturn is very grounded in its reality, in the lessons that need to be learned. And that grounded dreamy energy will really help with building up structures that support your spiritual growth. That's kind of like laying down the foundation for a house for your soul, making ready and making intentional plans and build to weather the storms. If you need anyone to help you prepare for a disaster, Saturn will probably help the most, especially in alignment with all of this preparation energy that we are getting from this up and coming Virgo season. And as we step into the heart of Virgo season, Venus is also going to strut its pretty little butt over into Leo. Venus loves being in Leo. That's a warm burst of creative energy, and it's a time to celebrate love and beauty and just the sheer joy of living. And that's whether or not you're indulging in something as simple as like a homemade peach cobbler or dancing barefoot outside at night, celebrating those last warm days of late summer. Venus really just, especially in Leo, encourages us to embrace the pleasures of life with open arms. Uranus and Neptune. So on the 28th, after our new moon energy, later in the week, Uranus and Neptune are going to form this harmonious sextile. And that's really a blending of innovation with intuition. So you're going to learn new ways to trust your gut. Because this kind of aspect really invites us to explore new spiritual practices. Trust your inner vision. If you have something you've been wanting to dive into, a new hyperfixation or a rabbit hole, this is the time to do it. This is the energy that will really align with that. I mean, perhaps you could try something like moonlit divination. Go outside and maybe even during the new moon, when it's the darkest it could possibly be, and throw some cards. It's really a cosmic nudge to step outside the box and let your imagination run wild. And again, there's that tapering off of the wildness from summer to really deep dive and explore something new. And this is a really nice combination of trying to like integrate like cosmic wisdom into like daily routines and rhythm. With these kind of planetary shifts, it's a perfect time to align your daily practices with the cosmos. And I've really tried to put together ways to make that happen for us, especially like in the South, and how we really just want to be really harmonious with our energies and our homes and the land we sit on. Under like the Saturn and Pisces, you can really do something that I did yesterday without even realizing it. And that was creating a sacred space in your home, maybe like a corner for self-reflection or journaling, or a new reading nook, a new little meditation space. And I have this armchair in our bedroom that I will not part with. I won't give it up. It's just a little dusty, old rose colored little rocking chair, and I thrifted it a couple of years ago, and I absolutely love it. I live in this chair. This is my escape in the house when I need quiet time. And I made my own little corner in the room with my chair and my tables and my candles and my books. And that's where I'm sitting recording today. And so I really tapped into that without even knowing it. And here it is. And let's see. So what else? So with Venus in Leo, you or we as a peoples, you can host a small gathering, maybe with family, friends, loved ones of whatever sort, and share your stories and celebratory moments and just the simple joys of what maybe you've done this summer. Kind of celebrate the end of summer together over tea, over wine. Let's bring the cobbler. I really want peach cobbler. I keep talking about it. Maybe even throw some crafts in there. Moving into the autumn season is like the best arts and crafts time for autumn, for Halloween, moving into Yule and Christmas. It's the best arts and crafts of the entire year, in my opinion. During Uranus and Neptune, we have a little sextile going on there, and that's a good time to also try something new. Maybe try that tarot card reading under the stars. We're going to go outside in the dark again and read our cards. This is also a good time to maybe visit liminal spaces during this very liminal space time and just really dive into that veil thinning energy, maybe by the beach, by a creek. I always want to go towards some type of moving body of water, especially when you're in the veil thinning periods of the year or liminal moments, because those are the most liminal spaces to me. Just let the universe surprise you. So Virgo season and the Virgo new moon, these planetary shifts are prime time for really working with deities too. So I've compiled a little list on if you really want to deep dive and align with these energies that are really tied to like harvest and balance and wisdom, transformation. So Southern folky witchy feels for deity workings. Here's a little mix for that. So deities and spirits to work with during our Virgo season and our new moon. I put together, let's see, like Demeter and Circe's little Greek and Roman action. Goddess of the harvest, grain, and agriculture. This is perfect as we step into the late summer, into the early autumn harvest seasons. You can honor them by offering bread, corn, wheat, bake something, peach cobbler maybe. Any type of homemade good is a good way to honor those archetypes and energies and deities. Also, we have like Hestia and Vesta, goddesses of hearth, home, and the sacred fire. That just makes me think of our moon moving through Leo, Venus in Leo. That's that really sacred heart flame energy. It's really about, and the Virgo energy. It's about tending to your daily rituals and keeping things in order and not letting those things fall back to the wayside, maybe like they did in the wild energy of the summer. And you can honor these things by like lighting your candles, maybe doing your color correspondences, tidy your spaces, cook simple, very mindful meals for your loved ones, your family, yourself. And then I also have Bridget, one of my personal favorites. I've dedicated my entire kitchen space to Bridget. She is the healer. She's over poetry and sacred flames. There's that sacred flame again. She is the domestic bridge between, she bridges the domestic and the spiritual. She really is that conduit of mundane to magical. And you can really just honor her, but with milk offerings, honey, weave or braid small charms, write some poems, do your journaling, for protection and balance. So new moon energy will always and forever make me think of Hecate. As we shift into autumn and closer to the spooky season, Hecate's crossroads always help with wisdom, and they guide for transformational periods of time. This is perfect for your liminal celebrations or tapping into that liminal energy, especially for your dark moons and your new moons. You can leave offerings for Hecate at crossroads. She loves garlic. She loves liquor, eggs, breads. A great time for deep meditation on the paths that you're ready to take on. That also speaks back to that Neptune sextile where it was telling you it's a great time to dive into something you wanted to try that was new, the new hyperfixations. And Hecate is that psychopomp that will guide you there and get you there. You're just virgin, and maiden archetype is something else that's great to work, obviously, through Virgo's season, as Virgo is the virgin, the maiden. You can even use Mary. It's not about chastity, but it's about wholeness and wholeness unto yourself. It's about sovereignty and self reliance. And that energy is about tending to your own garden before, again, we can do for others. There are so many different energies that are reminding us of the same things. And you can do that again. Journaling. Journaling is talked about so much this time around. And we really can dive into self-care rituals, use herbal teas, spend time in nature, again, gather with your loved ones. Virgo season is practical, it's grounded, it's tied to ancestry through the harvest cycles too. So it's really grounded in this ancient energy. This is a wonderful time to call on ancestors if you are lucky enough to have that connection to your lineage, especially through farmers, homemakers. This is like kitchen witch prime time. Even like folk saints and figures like Saint Martha, who tamed the dragon, is perfect, that fits Virgo energy. And you can set a plate of seasonal food or set an extra space at the table if you want to honor them as well. I also have a couple of planetary tie-ins to help realign this energy too, with stuff like Saturn and Pisces. Work with deities of boundaries, like Hermes. He's also a good psychopomp and a mediator. Again, if you need guidance into taking on a new path or trying out something new. Venus and Leo, I just think Aphrodite, think creative, think love. You want to be the life of the party. Venus and Leo, Aphrodite's, heck yeah. The Uranus Neptune sextile, inspirational visions. So maybe things like Apollo. Just some ideas out there, like of who to work with to help better align all of it. And for talking about tying up loose ends, I pulled a tarot card to try to just tie all of this information together and give you just that little extra that you might need for all of this shifting time. So to see how the seasonal energy really is going to tie it all together, I pulled the best card. I pulled Temperance. This card is kind of Spirit's way of saying balance is the name of the game right now. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. Everyone wants to think balance and think Libra, but I think we could really learn something through Virgo when it comes to balance. Temperance is really just that like sweet middle path where everything blends together smooth, like stirring a tablespoon or teaspoon, that's a lot, a teaspoon of sugar into your tea until you get it just right. And blending, this blending of together of seasons and this liminal time, Temperance just completely encompasses that. It's really a reminder that as summer fades and autumn rises, we don't need to pick one energy over the other. we can work with them all at the same time. We get to weave them together and take the wild warmth of summer and mix it with Virgo's grounded wisdom and pour it all into this cozy cup that's just ready for autumn and ready for the next season and shift in the year and shift in our wheel. So don't rush and don't cling. We want to flow and we want to blend. Make your life a little more quilt stitched, as we might say, from many pieces of each season and each mood. We all want it working in harmony. And, that's what this time I think is most important to really lean into to do. We've got a lot coming up. With the show, we're gonna be leaning into like the spooky time of year, into our veil thinning, into the cooler evenings and crunchy leaves on the ground. We're ready. We're ready for a relief from the heat and just a whole other vibe change. But we can't run into it head on. We need to blend seamlessly. And Virgo will help us do that as we move through. So that's all I've got for us today. Wanted to get everyone ready for this big seasonal shift that I am all about and I am here for. So stay tuned. We will be coming up with all of the spooky tales. We're going to try to find some of the weirdest and paranormal things that the internet can throw at us that we'll get on and we'll talk about and divulge in. And we'll make it the best spooky season yet. So I hope everyone has a great Virgo season and get your preparations in order, because it's going to be a great lunar cycle between this Virgo new moon and this full moon lunar eclipse on the 7th in September. So everyone get ready. It's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of things to be doing. So like always, we will see you next moon phase. Bye.